going on, everybody? This is Maurice Bishop. Found out life is a game of chess. I actually want to share with y'all a game against Joe Benjamin versus Emory Tate. Joe Benjamin played as white, and Emory Tate played as black. So this is definitely a very interesting game. I actually like this game. This was in Philadelphia, and this was like back in like 2000. So without further ado, let's get started. All right. So pawn e4, that's what Joe Benjamin played. Emery Tate played e6, the French. D3, c5, knight f3, d5, queen e2. D captures e4, knight e7, knight a3. Now with knight a3, this is more of a flexible move in the opening. It gives Joe Benjamin a lot of flexibility, and because he has some good space in his opening, he doesn't have to fianchetto his bishop on b3 at all. So he doesn't really have to do that, but he has options though. Knight E to C6, obviously, Emory Tate, he um, don't want to block the dark square bishop, you know. Pawn C3, bishop E7, as you can see, it looks like Emory Tate about the castle. Um, Joe Benjamin developed his bishop on F4, get in the center. Emory Tate castles. And Joe Benjamin goes Queen C2, not only to protect, even though nothing is attacking the pawn on E4, but I believe the whole point of this move was to also develop this light square bishop and everything. And then once this light square bishop is developed, he'll have an option to whether castle king side or castle queen side. So it gives him some options. So, but this is what I'm talking about. He got flexibility. Joe Benjamin got flexibility. Knight B D7, Emory Tate, he developed his knight on D7. Bishop B5. Now let's take a look at this. So knight B D7. Obviously, that's pretty much um the only square that he could go. Notice his position. Notice his bishop on C8 is still locked in. It's not developed right now. But so far, Joe Benjamin pieces, it looks like um, he has a nice control in the center, and his pieces is literally like developed. It's not blocked or nothing. It's not cranked up either, But Emory Tate position look kind of cramped in a way, um, especially because that bishop is on c8. All right. So bishop b5, like I said, Joe Benjamin he developed his bishop. Bishop captures c6 would be kind of I want to say kind of helping Black's position because once here let me show y'all once I want to show y'all like for instance Bishop B5. Let's say like he comes here or whatever. Let's say he goes there and then Bishop captures C6, B captures C6. Even though it will look bad, like the pawn formation, the double pawns, it'll look kind of bad on his part, but at the same time, it won't be so bad for Black only due to the fact that he has um, this bishop that could go a6, and he also has the rook a to b8 as well that he could goes to. So it's kind of helping Black's position, So he went in. I wouldn't recommend taking that. Um, I wouldn't recommend taking that. But anyway, Emory Tate plays G5 in this position. Now this is a very now if y'all know Emory Tate plays man, he plays some unconventional moves, man. He just be if you know Emory Tate, he is an attacking player. He's very aggressive. He plays unconventional moves a lot in his games and everything. Especially if you look at this, he's moving his pawn in front of his king, which potentially it will weaken his king. So that's what Emory Tate played. All right. So Joe Benjamin plays Bishop B3. Now let's go back though. Um I think what Emory Tate had in mind was a kingside attack. Um Even though the king is not even castle yet, but I think he was just trying to confuse his um his opponent. But let's say Joe Benjamin goes bishop g3. So we're gonna look at this. Bishop g3. He probably had thoughts of f5. He could take, and then eventually try to trap his dark square bishop. Things like that. But with that being said, even though he can do that, it's still not. Um, Joe Benjamin still ain't got to worry about that because even after this, Joe Benjamin could still castle queenside. And then if Emory Tate decides to go f4, Joe Benjamin would have this nice move h4. So, for instance, if he takes this bishop, h capture g5, notice the h file of this rook is all open now, and then also you have this queen that's also hitting queen catchers h7 checkmate. So even if bishop catchers g5, uh, Joe Benjamin can just move this right away, and white is looking very good even without his dark square bishop because now the king's position is open, like very open. And notice that he's threatening queen catchers h7 checkmate. And obviously, if he goes to, let's say, like Queen e7 to try to protect his h7 pawn, this wouldn't work because of knight catches g5. He just pretty much went his pawn back, and also he's threatening, like for instance, if Queen catches the knight, he's gonna miss this mate. So that's one of the things. Or if he goes, let's say, Rook f7. That's not going to work either because of bishop c4. And then at the same time, black is still ready to capture on queen catchers h7. And it's not like he can go here because then Joe Benjamin could go knight catches e5, hitting this rook twice, and also this knight on d7 is pinned because this rook will take his own queen, as y'all can see. So even though Joe Benjamin will lose with dark square bishop, it's still looking good in his favor. All right. So let's go back. Uh, oh my bad, y'all. Let me go back to this game. All right, bishop e3. That's where Joe Benjamin goes. Because obviously, with Bishop e3, he saw the move f5, thinking he would like try to trap his dark square bishop, but he could have went Bishop g3 if he wanted to, and if he like I said before, if he did do the f5 move, Joe Benjamin would have to do go h4, so it would have looked good for him anyway. All right, so Emory Tate still goes f5 anyway. Joe Benjamin takes. Emory Tate takes on E catches f5, and then castle queenside. F4, that's where Emory Tate goes at, and then he saw, and I guess Joe Benjamin, this is where he must have saw the H4 move. If he can get that H pawn out of the H file to make his rook become powerful in the H file along with his queen, it would just look great on his part. And obviously, and just to show y'all, Emory Tate did capture H4 because he didn't want, and this is the reason why he did it because he didn't want the H file to be open, and that's the reason why he did that. So again, kind of like the same thing that we just said. If he does take on F captures on E3, if he takes his bishop, then H capture G5 will still work the same way. It really doesn't matter. And the only difference, another thing is he wouldn't be able to go bishop capture G5 now because now his pawn is actually in front of or diagonal to my king. So if he does take this pawn, then checkmate. And then if you notice, he still can't go knight d to e5 because of this rook. He will lose his queen. And then he still can't go this way because knight captures e5 would still work, and it just pretty much would be devastating. And then rook f7 definitely is not going to work because of bishop c4. So it's not going to work at all. So this kind of like what I just showed y'all. It still works the same way with white attack, especially on that h5. It just becomes crazy, you know. And then let's say he doesn't have to take the let's say he doesn't have to take the point. Let's say he goes on g4. You know, let's try that. So if he goes g4, attacking two pieces at the same time, it's still not going to work either because of knight g5. And of course, he still can't take the bishop right here because of queen captures h7 checkmate, as y'all can see. You know, and yeah, it just really this is just really not looking good at all. And then of course, even if bishop catches g5, ace catches g5, is he's still threatening mate on h7 on checkmate. And again, rook f7 still not going to work because bishop c4. You know, and then if he goes hold on, if he goes queen e7, he still got moves like bishop d3, hitting this hitting this piece as well. So even if he takes the bishop, bishop captures a7 check. Obviously he can't come here because of queen g6. That would be mate. And even if he goes, I don't know, let's say king h8, that's not going to work either because of queen g6 and everything. So that's not going to work either. And there's no way he can stop this mate at all. So if y'all don't see this, if he goes queen g7, oh my bad, y'all. I'm tripping, y'all. If he goes so this is my thing. Even if he does go what I was saying, king h8, he still have, I want to say, bishop f5 on check. Um and this is the thing. He can't go king g7 because of rook h7 check. He will lose his queen. So, and to be honest with you, I think the right move would be actually bishop g6. To be honest with you, this would be the move. Bishop g6 check. Not king g7. King g8, and then actually rook h7. And I think white is actually good in this position. So even if he does that, this would be winning. You know, and then you also got to take into consideration that the queen right here is also threatening queen b3 check as well. You know, and that could automatically be checkmate as well. But before even doing that, I probably would just go um, rook d to h1 as well. You know, but either way, white is actually winning in this position. All right, so that's the reason why he didn't take this bishop. You see, got this red arrow. This would be bad. But G catches h4. Like I said, he did that just so he could stop this rook from having counterplay on the h file, and that's the reason why he did it. And of course, bishop catches c5, which is like an amazing move, a very amazing move. And the reason why this is amazing because again, black is still underdeveloped. You know, his bishop is still on c8. This bishop has not gotten the game at all. Not at all. He has not gotten the game. The rook on a8 is on no type of file. And these knights on c6 and d7, yes, they made some move, but they still like cramped up. It's like no type of mobility at all because the queen is still pinned. So it's just crazy. So bishop catches c5. The knight can't take because of, as y'all can see, um, if he takes, then obviously he loses queen. Y'all see that, right? But obviously, bishop catches c5, which is what happened. My bad, y'all. So bishop captures c5 is what happened. And then rook captures h4, which is what happened. And after now I want y'all to look at this move after rook captures h4. What would y'all actually do in this move? You know, like what can you actually what would you actually do for black? Like how would you defend? And notice that queen catchers what you'll call it, queen catchers h7 would be checkmate. Like how would y'all even play this? You know, if y'all need to pause the video, y'all can pause the video. All right. Hold on real quick, yeah. All right, y'all. Ugh. Obviously not rook f7 because y'all already know with rook f7 you still got bishop c4, so that's not a move at all. But Emory Tate does go queen e7 and everything. And then he goes, let me see where he goes after that because that just messed up my thing. But after queen e7, Joe Benjamin goes bishop c4 check. And then the king goes king h8. Uh, my bad, y'all. I'm over here trying to. And after king h8, what do you need to do in this type of position? You know, the pieces all in a fight, just rook in a fight, bishop in a fight. To make more pressure, you gotta go rook d to h1. So now he's threatening rook captures h7 check, check, and then if the like for instance I don't know, like if he goes a6, you got rook captures a7 check. And if he comes here, then you got queen captures h7 checkmate. So obviously a6 would not be the move. That's not a move. But yeah, rook d to h1. Obviously he goes on knight f6, and then after knight f6, you know, finally this knight get to come in a fight. He goes on knight g5. That's where he goes. And honestly, if I was black, I would have pretty much resigned already after this. I definitely would have resigned. But after knight g5, Emory Tate, I don't know. I don't know. He tried to, I guess, gain some time and everything, but he goes bishop e3 check. And honestly, with Joe Benjamin, he actually did not. He didn't take the bishop at all. And honestly, I mean, let's actually look at this. If he takes this bishop, I don't know if he was scared of queen catches e3 maybe or whatever. But after king b1, you know, white is still threatening knight catchers on h7. You know, and it looks pretty good for him. I mean, I don't know if he was looking at 95 as well. You know, maybe he was trying to have some type of fighting chances. But even with that, I'm still threatening night catchers on h7. So it's still and then maybe he was trying to eliminate this light square bishop because it is cutting off his king on g8. It's cut off the g8 square too along this light square diagonal. So maybe that was one of the reasons why. But in this case, with bishop e3 check, Joe Benjamin didn't take. He just go king b1. And honestly, he really don't have a reason to take this bishop at all because right now he is still putting pressure on the king. So black has a lot to worry about. So Joe Benjamin was like, you know, I'm gonna just play it safe. You know, I'm not gonna take. You know, I still got pressure on the king, so it's still all good. But after king b1, um, obviously because this h7 pawn was going to be lost, so Emory Tate just go h5. But then Joe Benjamin go rook catches h5. The knight takes, rook catches h5 on check, and then Emory Tate goes king g7, and then whoop, my bad, y'all. Move this. Think this was touching. Here we go. Queen h7 check. He comes here, and then he goes rook h6 check. Now notice, Emory Tate actually goes on king e5, but if he would have took on king g5, then queen g6 would be mate. And but in this case, Emory Tate goes king e5, and then Joe Benjamin checkmates him on knight f3. But he also had another way to checkmate in too. He could have just went queen e4 checkmate as well, because that's also checkmate. So, but that's how that is. So there you have it. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please like, share, comment. Let me know what y'all think of this game. And also, man, don't forget to subscribe. All right, don't forget to subscribe. All right, y'all. Peace.